Hey guys, it's the Faceless Beanie, and in this video I'll show you a couple of abilities you can infuse into Octavia to make her that little bit better. She's one of the Warframes that doesn't really need the assistance of the Helminth, but if you want a couple of ideas anyway, let's get into it. First up, it's Hildren's Pillage. So the build focuses on duration, strength and range. You'll get your strength just above 200% to get Pillage to just over 50% armor strip per cast. Whatever you do, it's important not to use corrosive projection as your aura mod. You can use anything else you want, just don't use corrosive projection as it's counterintuitive. You want enemies to have their armor on, to strip it and provide overshields. Optionally, you can replace primed flow with streamline or regular flow. The gameplay will look like normal. You'll use mallet combined with amp, but this time you'll use pillage to strip enemies of their armor. This is especially useful in the steel path as mallet does not scale very well with enemies' armor here, so stripping them will make it a breeze no matter what. Make sure you keep moving around while pillage is active to strip as many enemies as possible. Next, in a similar vein, is Amber's Fire Blast. So the build is a little more balanced than the pillage build. Here, you don't need to emphasize strength as Fire Blast only needs 100% strength to max out its armor reduction, so you can focus on the other facets like efficiency and a little bit more range than pillage. Gameplay here is virtually identical to pillage's. You lay down mallet, cast amp, and then move around and cast Fire Blast to strip as much armor as possible from as many enemies as possible. It works much better in an open area, so try not to let enemies close you down into a tight space. Finally, Rage from Equinox's Rest and Rage. The build focuses on strength and duration. Range is not as important as Calm and Frenzy will ensure rage is spread amongst enemies quickly. Importantly, make sure your emissive color is set to a bright color to ensure it's rage that you activate and not rest. If you activate rest, enemies will be put to sleep and that's counterintuitive. You want them to rush quicker at you and take more damage, which is what rage will do. So what rage does is it makes enemies come into the range of mallet much quicker, which means they'll die quicker and mallet will be able to do a much better job. Additionally, they have a damage vulnerability boost, which means not only do they get into mallet's radius quicker, they also take a lot more damage. It just makes sense. It goes without saying that since you're subsuming rest and rage, you can also use rest. A build like this that focuses on duration and range will work really well on Adaro on Setna if you're looking to level up some weapons. Don't forget about the emissive color, it has to be a dark color for you to use rest. You can also choose to use Banshee's Silence for the same purpose. The build is similar, but of course you won't need an augment mod with this one. Gameplay here is pretty straightforward. You utilize Metronome's invisibility, keep it active as long as possible, and then use rest to cast enemies to sleep and use whatever weapon you like to stealth kill them and make use of the stealth killed multiplier to farm affinity. Of course, make sure enemies are not alerted to dead bodies because that's going to ruin your stealth multiplier. And that's about it. Of course, these builds are not fully optimized and were just ideas of what you can do with the Helminth to make Octavia a little bit better. You can optimize this by using Umbral mods if you want. With that, I hope it helped you out. This is the Faceless Beanie signing out.